Imagine you're walking into a rental agency and you're presented with a bunch of papers that require your signature. Would you feel confident writing your signature on all of those papers consistently and legibly, or would you feel uneasy knowing that your signature is possibly not going to be legible or consistent all throughout those papers? In my audience analysis, I've discovered that 3 out of 10 of you know how to write in cursive, while the rest aren't really sure how to write in cursive or read in cursive, or you're not very good at it. Reading and writing in cursive is a very important skill that many students my age and younger don't have due to the increase in usage of technology all throughout our lives as a whole. I am a student that learned cursive in elementary school, but it wasn't taught thoroughly, and as a result, I know how to read in cursive, but I'm not very good at writing in cursive, so I could use some help and work on that. Today, I'm going to tell you why cursive is not as common, why it's important, and why and how you can make a difference overall. With the rise of technology being used overall, the need to write in cursive isn't as common, or it's not very important, as so you may think. This means that many students in my generation or younger don't know how to write in cursive and weren't taught how to write in cursive very well. This also means that many of them don't know how to sign their name in cursive or sign important documents. This also means they may not know how to read important documents such as the Declaration of Independence. Now that we have identified the problem with cursive not being taught, let's clearly identify when cursive just stopped being used entirely. According to Michelle Marlin, host of Morning Edition, in her interview with historian Drew Giplin-Faust, she states that in 2010, the U.S. Board of Education removed cursive entirely from the Common Core standards for K-12 education. This means that not many students in that time were taught how to learn cursive, and it was removed entirely for students to come. More specifically, Beth Goshling-Huber, she states, an author at the National Museum of American History, she states that by the mid-1990s, emails became a more important means of communication, followed by texting in the early 2000s. This means that technology was a greater emphasis rather than writing in cursive. Tom Berger, who is a former high school and college English teacher and current editor and writer, he states that the rise of technology doesn't bode well for manual means of writing. Now that I've told you the problem of not knowing cursive and why cursive was removed from our Common Core education, let's go through some means of how you can help in getting it possibly incorporated back into our education system. You can always start a petition, write letters to your English board of your national board of your local board of education, get in contact with those who are in charge, and if nothing happens right away, you did raise awareness to those people, and if enough people go through it, then you have the potential to actually start a movement. You can also write and practice your writing on your own, or you can brush up on your skills if you don't really know how to write in cursive yourself. For example, many checks like these, you're not going to learn anything from this, but many checks like these require that you use a signature in order to deposit the check. If you don't know how to write in cursive, that is a great place to start, and you can also go online and those places will also teach you how to write in cursive. You can also go to a trusted adult and they'll teach you how to write in cursive as well if you're truly struggling. Younger generations not knowing how to write in cursive is a much larger problem than it may seem, from not knowing how to write a deposit for a check or not knowing how to write or read some important documents. The U.S. government removing cursive is also something you can help by starting a petition. If we don't take the time to teach younger generations, then we lose the skill of cursive altogether, and it is just as important as learning how to type.